Hi, I'm Matt from eSpares. In this video, I'll show you how to resolve the issue that can cause an F13 fault code in a Hotpoint washer dryer. An F13 fault code relates to a faulty sensor within the dryer heater assembly. Hotpoint have changed the design of the sensor from this to this. So if you have this type of sensor in your machine and you're experiencing an F13 fault code, we recommend that you change it to this sensor. The safety first. Always unplug an appliance before carrying out any work. The next thing I need to do is to take the top off the appliance by undoing these two screws at the back. With the top removed, here we can see the dryer heater assembly, and here is the sensor there. So what I need to do is to remove this top bracket to gain access to the dryer heater by undoing these four screws that hold it in place. With the bracket out of the way, we can now access the dryer heater. It's not possible to just pull the sensor out and replace it as is. It's sandwiched in place by the dryer heater assembly. So the next thing I need to do is to remove these Torx head screws with a Torx head screwdriver to separate the two halves. With all the screws removed from the heater assembly, I'm going to take this opportunity to disconnect all the electrical connections, one on the sensor and two on the top of the heater itself. There are two things keeping the dryer heater assembly together. That's a seal that runs around the inside edge of the heater assembly. Make sure when you're prizing the two parts apart that the seal doesn't get disturbed. And at the front of the heater assembly, the seal actually wraps around the heater assembly itself. So I'm just going to push the door seal off the end. I can then use a flat-headed screwdriver to prise apart the two halves of the dryer heater assembly, just making sure that the seal inside remains in place. I can then ease out the sensor. So here we have the new style sensor, which I'll just put in place. And before reconnecting the two halves of the heater, just make sure that the seal that you can see here is all in place, as well as the heater at the back of the assembly here. And then you can just put the two halves back together. With the sensor in place, I can then reattach the Torx head screws. With the dryer heater assembly screwed back together, I can now reconnect the electrical connections. I can then reattach the drum seal to the end of the dryer heater, one hand inside, pushing the rubber up from the inside, and also using my hands to pinch the rubber and put it over the end of the dryer heater assembly. A top tip, if you don't have a new grip tie, use a bit of washing up liquid to just lubricate around the rubber to help ease it onto the metal. With the seal in place, I can reattach the top bracket and also the top of the dryer. So there we have it, one new sensor fitted to this washer dryer. Spares for washer dryers and all other appliances can be found on the eSpares website. Thanks for watching.